Spark FM.
Let's start with the big question.
Who are you? The all-new Spark FM.
Paid family and medical leave is here. And if you're an employee in Massachusetts, you probably have questions. How does PFML work? When can I start using my benefits? How do I apply? Is PFML really for me? There is one place to find your answer. mass.gov/PFML. It's time to get to know paid family and medical leave. A message from the Massachusetts Department of Family and Medical Leave.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
Things may seem a little bit different now, but your health remains a priority. With the Massachusetts Health Connector, you can stay happy and healthy. Whether you're employed or have recently lost your job, you have options to stay insured. Visit mahealthconnector.org to compare health insurance plans and choose the one that's right for you and your family. Open enrollment ends on January 23rd. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL. That's 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Spark FM online. Taylor Andre, TAYLAANDRE.com. Everything Taylor Andre. Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre. Waking up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. I just want to hit you real quick.
If I could, I'd give you the world.
The whole world. I would give you the whole entire world and wrap it all around you. And with that being said, I need a little motivation. Do you?
Only two things can get you through this, man. That's patience and persistence.
We all aspire, we all have the same emotions. You know, no matter who you are, where you're from, we all have the same emotions. You know, we all want to be successful. You know, we all have the same fears of failure. We all have, this feelings of abandonment. We all, want love.
You have such a strong belief in yourself that you can quiet out all the outside noise, because you're gonna need that on every step of the way. There are people that are projecting their fears and their shortcomings and failures on you. And you have to be very careful, with that. People telling you can't do that. Why can't I? Because they may have tried, or they don't believe that they can do it. And it's not really about you. It's about what they feel and their fear inside. So you have to be strong enough and resilient to believe in whatever it is you're trying to do. My uncle, he was telling me, like, my uncle said I never sold 1 million records. I sold 1 million records like 1 million times. Are you crazy? How are you going to do that? How? I'm sure there's things that I do now that he can't believe that I was able to accomplish. But he couldn't even see it at the time. So he was just projecting from his fears on me.
That's how we on it. Lock my body, can't trap my mind. Easily explain why we adapt to crime. I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. That's how we on it. And you got to understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You got to also look at that. You have to look at that. You got to look at the environments and places we live in and how things are set up and how things are structured and how we're always the last on the totem pole, even from our schooling to our roads to, everything that all the obstacles that's placed in front of us, even our living conditions. You live in a project. Someone lives here, 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 and here. You have to deal with all these different type of personalities. You're in the box. Someone's above you, below you, to the right of you, and to the left of you. And every day you have to manage that circle. So that's like living dormant. Life is about balance, right? You have to have some type of balance. You have like time for work and it's time for play. And if you don't allow these two things to coexist, you have an imbalance. People look at you strange saying you changed, like you work that hard to stay the same. Like you're doing all this for a reason. And what happens most of the time, people change. People change around you because they start treating you different because of your success. So you are changing. You don't change who you are, the core of who you are, the things you believe, the things you love, and the things you die for, and your principles. You don't change that, but you're going to change who you are. You're going to change. You can't do the same things that you can't hang on the corner. Be true to yourself. It sounds like a very simple thing to do, but it's not. It's not simple to do with all the pressures to succeed and all the pressures to, once you succeed, to stay there. You have a belief in yourself, and sometimes, in most cases, it's a naivete about who you are and what you can contribute to the game. Belief in oneself and knowing who you are, that's the foundation of everything great.
Listen, did you get some motivation, some inspiration? You ready? You ready? Because I'm ready. So yesterday I couldn't figure out what the H word was because it wasn't an H word. Yesterday I was trying to say bohemian, not hippie. I was trying to say bohemian. And it hit me like I woke up today and it was just like bohemian. I was just like, let me write this down so I don't forget. It's the H word. No, it wasn't. It was a B word. It was bohemian. And so as far as life is, I had a really long day yesterday. Like yesterday was so long. My last meeting started at 8:15. And so like I was out and about in life and working so late. Good rising, PhD, psychology, LSLC. Good rising. How are you? Hey, Chanel, Remy, I wish you had Friday shows so I could come and we could do Freaky Friday on a Friday because I be needing to be to sleep 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. I need to be in the bed. Good rising. Hey, Andrea, how you doing? Okay, so yesterday was super long. I was at work until at least 8:15 and my car has snow on it. I think I be wanting a man's friend in my life when it comes to like hard things. Or not even hard things, because it wasn't hard to clean the snow. It wasn't hard to shovel. It was just things that I didn't want to do. And I didn't want to shovel when I had to. Please tell me I'm not the only one. The only female that don't want to do those things. I got a call today. I was like, I'm doing man things right now. It's just like, shoveling is not man things, but it is. Cleaning the car is man things. Washing the car is man things. Going to get gas, those are man things. Daddy, I miss you so much. I want my daddy back. Give me my daddy back. I should have never grew up. That's what it was. But as far as what did I want to tell you about yesterday? Oh gosh. It eludes me. So let's get to the news, and since I cannot remember. So as far as news is concerned, there's a whole bunch of nonsense going on. Let's start from the end instead of starting from the beginning today. And so local churches are becoming clinics to encourage Black communities to take the vaccine. Listen, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I've seen this plot play out a couple times. And so Previously, reports have reported that local doctor groups in Philadelphia have helped the city to set up efforts to encourage Black residents to get vaccinated against the coronavirus in light of the studies that show that African Americans are more untrusting of new vaccines due to the long history of medical racism that still persists today. So now churches across different states are transforming into vaccine clinics to help instill more trust among the Black community. Just because a Black folk is giving you the vaccine don't mean I trust it even more. Outside of traditional hospitals and clinics, many doctors are coming together with local faith leaders to create space for residents to safely be vaccinated and gain access to medical treatment in light of the public health crisis. Some say initiatives like these are critical to building more trust in the vaccine, but like the trust in the vaccine has nothing to do with who's administering it. It's like, where did the vaccine actually come from? Who made the vaccine? Who created the vaccine? Who was a part of the trials during the vaccine? And I don't know if you guys remember, but here in Boston, they were seeking out different Black people to be a part of the trial. Let me tell you, like, I don't think they hit 35% of Black folks, and like Caribbean Black folks. Caribbeans that were born in the Caribbean Black folks have different DNA makeup because of the water they drink, the food that they eat, the air that they breathe, than Black American Black folks, than Black folks that came from Africa. Like, everybody is different. So when I'm talking about untrustworthy behavior, we're talking about Henrietta Lacks. We're talking about the Tuskegee experiment. We're talking about Jim Crow in the South. A lot of their experiences experiences they're having to this day, we're going to see healthcare providers and having them feel like they're not being heard. They don't necessarily feel like they're getting the help they need in the first place, said Dr. Justin Moore, an epidemiologist at the Medical College of Georgia. And aside from that, do you remember the woman that we interviewed? She was or is a healthcare professional. Let me pull this up, because what I really liked about her, so she's a Black woman who owns a pharmaceutical company, and we interviewed her. You know what? I think I'm going to replay that for you. Not today, but another day. I'm going to replay the interview. What is her name? We have the intern in the building. I should have him go search it up. Jules. I don't know the name of the company. That's why it's like a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole for you. I am going to find this and I am going to tell you. Jules, can you come just scroll until I see her face? Founder, woman in tech, Denisha Harrison. And so we interviewed her. I was at home because the backdrop. And so it's Enaid Therapeutics. Her name is Denisha Harrison of Enaid Therapeutics. Denisha Grant Harrison is the president and CEO of Enaid Therapeutics, a developmental stage biopharmaceutical company. As the company's head, she's responsible for guiding the company into the intention of being the first to market the world's first therapeutic cure for the two of the most notorious mosquito-borne diseases in the world, Zika and dengue virus. There are a total of 11 drugs in the company's pipeline, and she was working on a COVID-19 therapeutic cure. And so the way that she explained it, and again, if you go to the YouTube and you see like women in tech, Darnisha Harrison, if you look that up with Taylor Andre, you'll be able to find it if you want to watch it for yourself. If not, I'm going to replay it mañana. Can I do it tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 28th. And no, Michelle. Oh, tomorrow we're having conversations about finances. So it won't be tomorrow. So maybe on Tuesday of the following week, I will play it so we can have some motivational Monday. And so I'll play it next week so you guys can have a conversation with Denisha Harrison, and we can bring her back if you want. But the reason why her company was so dope was not only because it was a Black woman, ran, owned, and operated, but because they weren't looking to find like the inability for you never to get COVID. It was like, everyone's going to get COVID. It's like preventing your body from breaking down after you get COVID. And so it's a therapeutic cure, which is very different than a vaccine. And so that was something that I learned during the show, and I will share that with you next week. Hey, Steve. Hey, how you doing? Oh, cousins. Hey, Larry. Good rising, good rising. How are you? That's my cousin, y'all. You know your cousin. Heck no, for the vaccine, I won't go. Good rising, Mr. Steven Wilson, the sharpest dressed dude I've ever met in my whole entire life. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And so, in other news, Tampa Bay Buccaneers make history as 3 Black assistant coaches lead the team in an upcoming Super Bowl. And so I am so excited for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What is a Buccaneer? Do you know? Is a pirate? Yo, put your mic on. We got Julian in the building. What number is your mic? Number 2. Put it on your lip. Let me see you. Let me see your levels.
Can you hear me?
Put your headphones on so you can hear yourself. Y'all can hear me. I'm good. My level's good while I'm over here talking trash about Julian. Say something else.
Hello?
Again.
Hello?
Okay, keep it on your lip when you talk so people can hear you. And so a Buccaneer is a pirate? Come here, Buccaneer.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
I thought you would have the history too, Julian. I want to know what a damn Buccaneer is. Or the etymology. Okay, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'll figure that out. Can you figure out what a Buccaneer is and where that word came from and why it lives? And so shout out to the Buccaneers. 3 head coach. How do you have 3 assistant coaches? So this is the first time in the whole NFL Super Bowl that they had 3. How many assistant coaches does a football team have?
I would not know, but
go down that rabbit hole.
I think it's
how many?
It shouldn't be more than 10.
More than 10?
Shouldn't be more than 10.
Why would you have more than 10 assistant coaches? Why do you need more than 3 assistant coaches?
It's like money. I don't know.
Assist. Where my man's at? Assistant coaches on an NBA, but this is NFL. How many assistant?
15.
What?
15. Yeah.
Why? Hold on. So pause. Out of 15 mutters, there's only 3 Black folks, and we supposed to celebrate that? Yo, y'all be celebrating mediocrity. This is crazy. Nah, I am not okay for the ish and giggles. So in NBA, the bench shall be occupied only by 3 league-approved head coach. Shall be occupied only by a league-approved head coach, a maximum of 3 assistant coaches, players, and trainers. But that's on the court, right? The bench shall occupy. But how many assistant Oh, damn. Assistant coaches range from $100,000 to $1 million, depending on coaching experience. I'm about to be a coach. 100,000 walking in the gate, huh? That might really be a good idea for Puka Bear, though. Puka Bear could be an assistant coach. Okay, but NFL, looking at why 15?
Okay, so from what I said, what I found, it says nearly every football team has multiple coaching positions that work together, with NFL teams averaging 15 assistant coaches. So the head coach oversees all the coaches and should have many years of experience playing and coaching football. So I guess it's just sort of like different positions and stuff.
So each position, how many positions on a football field?
On a football field? It's been a long time since I played football.
Yo, this still make no sense. And hold on, but this is what we're celebrating. Let's celebrate 3 Black people out of 15 during a Super Bowl. I'm like, yay! What is it, like all 3 of them are black. I was excited. But now to know it's 3 out of 15, that's disappointing.
Well, I mean, it really depends on how many coaches the Buccaneers have because it says averaging, so they could have more.
How many assistant coaches does the Buccaneers have? Buccaneers coaches roster has a head coach of Bruce Arians. Coaching staff is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hold on, but they got 4 black men. So they have Harold Goodwin, an assistant head coach and the run game coordinator, a defensive coordinator, an offensive coordinator, and the special teams coordinator are all black. So that's 4. And then they have a defensive and assistant, a special, I don't have this many fingers, a specialist, inside linebacker, a quarterback coach, a tight end coach, an assistant to the head coach, an offensive assistant, an outside linebackers coach, a wide receiver, an offensive line, defensive special, assistant strength and conditioning coach, speed and conditioning coach, assistant defensive line coach, running back coach, assistant coach, head strength and conditioning coach, safeties coach, defensive line coach, cornerback coach, defensive special teams assistants, offensive quality control coach, and assistant strength and conditioning coach. How many? I did like 10. There was like 30. There was truly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 effing coaches. And out of these 29 coaches, damn. Did anybody learn anything at all? Because I just learned a whole hell of a lot. Shauna, you talking about herd immunity? Or you talking about the herd or sheep just following everybody else? Larry Ward, what up, cousin? I'm guessing it's celebrated because those are the most important assistant coaches. Oh, thank you, Larry, for that breakdown. Because I would have been out here like, yo, did you know we go here celebrating mediocrity? Good rising, Mike. How you doing? Shauna, 11 on me. 11 me on each team at a time. 11. Break that down. But I'm glad that a woman know the answer to that question. Shout out to Shauna. Get it, boo. All right. So in other news, we're no longer celebrating mediocrity. Those are like the important coaches. And so shout out to 3 black men that will be leading them into the Super Bowl, and hopefully they win. See the difference. A 20-year-old black man who stormed the Capitol was denied bond while white rioters were granted release. Mind you, the only picture that they have of this boy is like being squished in between other people and being herded in to the White House, into the Capitol. And so while everybody else is like, bust down the doors, steal computers, I'm taking the podium. All out on cash bail. This baby is 20 years old, was herded in, and was denied bail. So a black man who participated in the January 6th Capitol insurrection was denied bond and will be held in jail until trial, even as many white participants in the insurrection attempted to have been granted release until their day of court. Emmanuel Jackson, 20 years old, who reportedly is homeless and mentally ill, will not be released from prison pending his trial. At the detention hearing in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, Jackson was ordered to be held without bond pending trial. Jackson, who allegedly beat a group of Metropolitan and U.S. Capitol Police officers with a metal baseball bat, turned himself into authorities on January 18th. He faces multiple charges, including assault on a federal law enforcement officer with a dangerous weapon, knowingly engaged in any acts of physical violence against any person or property in a restricted building or on grounds, and knowingly entering or remaining in a restricted building on the grounds without lawful authority. Hold on, pause. Julian, I want you to look up anybody for the insurrection. I have always read what they were charged with. Nobody else was charged with knowingly entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. That was not how the white people were charged with. They were charged with unlawfully entering a restricted building, but not knowingly entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. So how you are charged is very, very important, because what you're charged with is like you're either guilty or you're innocent. Anybody? We're going to go on to the next story. And as soon as Jules...
You want a list of people?
No, just anybody. Just pick anybody who was a part of the insurrection, who was, find the white girl who stole Nancy Pelosi's computer and was gonna sell it, and find out what she technically was charged for. Or my dude who was over there stealing the podium. Like, it doesn't matter. Just find anybody and see what they were actually charged with, because I want to do a comparative analysis to what he was charged with. Granted, mind you, he turned himself in. Everybody else had to come be got by the FBI. So Medea gets the vaccine, BET and Tyler Perry to air COVID-19 special. And so
I thought he was done with Medea.
He is not done with Medea, because that is his alter ego. Like, he really want to be his grandmother so bad. I don't know. I really don't know what the problem is. But I really do feel like, what was the movie from back in the day when a man would do the voice of his mother, but it was a horror film? It was like he lived in a mansion. It was a motel. Like, he was killing people.
The Shining?
Is that no, not The Shining. When he was crazy and he killed, his mother died, and so he would like dress up as his mom.
No, that doesn't sound right.
It's Johnny.
Yeah, that's The Shining.
Okay, but that's not the Yo, the way my brain works. You said The Shining, I said this is Johnny, but that's not the one I want. I meant, though, I was saying your intern could be heard. Oh, okay, good. In a football game, there are 11 men on each team, all on the field at once. Shauna, I love the fact that a woman knows this answer. Each position has a set of coaches. That makes sense. Much support in Ghana. There is a radio station with the name Spark FM here in Ghana. I want to know which one of these stations was established first. Mrs. Host, kindly answer. I'm not quite sure. I know here it's called Psycho. So you were close. Norman Bates, Psycho.
Yeah, that's what I said, Psycho.
But the first, is that the same thing?
Did I say American Psycho? No. Then if I said American Psycho, then I'm wrong.
Here's Johnny is the same thing as Psycho?
No. That's The Shining.
Okay. All right. I'm clear. I am not sure. Asamoah. Can you please break that down? I want to say your name correctly. And so we are a little over a year old as far as being on air. We're a year old. But as far as being in thought or what we look like on paper, I think we might be a year and 8 months. And so not quite sure how that works, but glad that you are tuned in and that you were able to find us. And I hope there's much support in Ghana across the board forever. Medea is where the money is at. And you're right. That's probably why he keeps continuing with all these Medea goes to jail, Medea in the insurrection, Medea getting COVID-19. Like, I am not surprised if he does like a Medea on lockdown and like all the family members have to be locked down with Medea and what it would look like in a crazy ass household with, with your crazy auntie. That's what he's doing. I'm not taking this vaccine because I want you to take it. I want to give you the information so you can make your own choices. I think that is important. That's what it's about, education and information. I think it's just important that people know that if you take your chances with COVID, you never know how it's going to affect you, and it could affect your long-term health. There's also reports that ahead of the broadcast, Tyler Perry spoke to CBS, Gayle King, where they spoke on his intent behind the special and touched on skepticism concerning the vaccine, especially as it relates to the Black community. Admitting to initially being hesitant himself, Perry cited Henrietta Lacks and the Tuskegee experiment as historic and particularly horrendous circumstances that often raise red flags for African American people and make it harder for us to trust what's really inside the vaccine. So, but overall, Perry still asserts that the lack of trust or doubt isn't worth skipping out on getting the vaccine. And that's exactly why he went to hear the experts and got the vaccine shot himself and wants to share with us on BET what he has learned. And if you watch the special, please let me know how it is, because I'm not signing up for that. So declassified CIA file reveals that U.S. spies believe that the Soviet doctors had perfected extrasensory perception back in the 1980s, and that could transmit thoughts and feelings to subjects. So in April of 1991, before I was even 10 years old, there was a memo detailing the Soviet ESP experiments that have been declassified. The memo was released in November and published online Monday. It shows how the CIA agents believed that the Soviet scientists were successful with ESP. And ESP is like, I'm over here thinking about what color, Julian? And Julian's like, you're thinking about the color purple. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's my favorite color. So of course that was an easy guess. But like, ESP is you being able to read people's minds or being able to like send people messages without actually talking. And from what I understand, a lot of the spiritual beings or the aliens or whatever you like, all of these other things that live outside of our dimension that we're familiar and comfortable with also communicate that way. And so when you think of an idea or something hits you and you're like, the spirit of God engaged in ESP. And that's a conversation that we definitely can have on Freaky Friday, because you don't have to believe me. Electricity still exists. The memo details several experiments in Siberia throughout the mid and late 1980s. Two scientists are mentioned as working on psychic techniques. Konstantin Butuko had perfected his method by the early 1980s. The CIA state Valal Kazvasakiv was described as being well-known authority on ESP. So this is interesting to me. I don't know if anybody else cares about this. I certainly do. 6 years ago, I discovered the CIA had multiple documents of extrasensory perception, or ESP, but they were classified. Recently, pried one loose with a mandatory declassification review request, but the other remains are classified. And so I am going to be following this. There is a 4-page report in the memo sent from the U.S. officials looking at both Soviet research into chemicals found in Agent Orange and at psychic medical treatments at the USSR Clinical and Experimental Medicine Institute. Y'all just really don't understand why I read the stories I read. And why on purpose we talk about certain things. Go ahead, Jules. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I found something on like people who got charged. So
Yes.
there's this article that talked about like people in Texas
Mhm.
or like Texans that were involved. So
Mhm.
this one lady, Jenny Cud, she was like a former like mayor candidate in one of the towns in Texas, and her friend were charged with entering a restricted building, violent entry, and disorderly conduct.
Yet this little black 20-year-old was knowingly entering or remaining in a restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. And I want to know, what is the difference? I don't know if she gonna be able to do this real quick, but I am going to try, because I am not opposed to trying. Oh, I don't think she has her Boston number no more. And she might be in court. So we're going to call the attorney that we know and see if she could help us with this. Hey, boo. Okay, so really quick question. You're live right now, FYI. And I am reading a story about the whole insurrection situation. You can hear me?
I can.
Okay. So I'm reading a story about the insurrection situation, and there's a 20-year-old black boy who, quote unquote, stormed the Capitol and is denied bond, while white rioters are getting bond and bail. What is the difference between bail and bond?
So basically, the bond is for, so you have bail bondsmen. They set a particular bond for an individual to get out of jail when they're accused of a crime, and then they get a bond, so to speak, when you go to a bondsman, and the bondman can put up certain property or money if you pay the bondsman a particular amount.
So
for
what's the
example,
difference
if someone
between
had
going out on bail and going out on bond?
So you can pay your full bail amount, right? So if your bail is $20,000, if your family wants to put up their property for collateral, you can do that. If you want to put up the full cash amount, like Michael Jackson came up with $1 million to get out on bond, to get out of jail. And so long as you continue to go to your court dates and stuff, that money is secure and you can get it back. It's like a security bond. Like when you are, they just want to confirm that you'll go to court, your court date. So
Okay.
if you,
All right, last
you
question.
can't make that's,
Can you do like a little bit of research for me and find out? So he's being charged, the black boy is being charged with knowingly entering or remaining in a restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. Julian, what's the white people being charged with?
Entering a restricted building, violent entry, and disorderly conduct.
So what is the difference between those two charges, and why is he not being charged the same as what they're
with
being
the
charged?
same thing, exactly. So if you send me that in a text message or a written format so I can know for sure. Give me the names as well. I'm sure I could get with one of my friends who's, I'm actually pending admission into the DC bar. I'm going to waive in, but I have a lot of friends who practice in DC. So what I'm going to do is have them look up on their online portal to see what he was charged with. And more than likely they have a complaint or they have, some other type of warrant issue that shows why particular people were charged with what. So if you can give me particular names or give me the name of a white person who was charged with that particular charge and the black young man who was charged with his particular charge, I can look up their cases exactly and see why were the charges different.
Okay, and if Elise doesn't get back to us today, I will update you tomorrow. Elise, tell them where they can go, because we talked about you yesterday as far as like starting your business, getting your business established, and making sure that you have all the legal documents that you need for your business to be legal. How do they contact you?
They can call me. They can go to our website at www.emwlawllc.com and they can schedule a free consultation or give us a call. Both our number and our online schedule is available on the website.
And give us the website, un más.
www.emwlawllc.com.
Thank you so much. I love you. I'm going to have Julian text you all of the information. And I love you and I appreciate you and I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you too, love.
All right. Mwah.
Mwah.
Super excited. I was about to give you the whole password on air. So his name is Emmanuel Jackson. And you can give her the name of any other white person. And he was charged with knowingly entering or remaining in a restricted building or ground without lawful authority. And then send her anybody white's information and then she can get back to us and let us know the difference. And so coming back to this declassification of CIA files, I just want you to, okay, so for those who do not know, after 30 years, you can do like the request that this young man did, right? And so this request that he specifically did was a mandatory declassification review. And so in the Constitution, they can declassify whatever the hell they want. But after 30 years, because after 30 years, nobody really cares, right? After 30 years, it's not a big deal. After 30 years, what you gonna do about it is already done. And so after 30 years, you can be like, hey, yo, you gotta declassify that, my dude. Give it back. And so he went ahead and got a mandatory declassification review request. Others are currently classified, but like, I have questions about these things called aliens. I have questions about who y'all really know shot JFK, who y'all really know, like, was actually involved with Martin Luther King Jr., what happened with Stokely Carmichael. Like, I want to know the truth. Tell me the truth, like, all of it. And so I am going to continue following the story about ESP and what they have actually learned about ESP. I was reading a book, not audiobook. It was only a book about ESP and the how people are able to like increase their gift in order to be able to, you know, send vibes. And so in the book, it's just like a form of practice, and they have like young people that already had the gift that never had any type of like mental restrictions on what they can and cannot do, that were like able to move things with their mind. There was a young girl who was able to close doors and shut off lights, and whenever she got mad, the lights would flicker. When I love reading those type of books because these are the things that they don't tell us about, but these are the stories that were in the book of Enoch, which was removed from the Bible because Constantine didn't want you to know the truth about the power that you have within yourself and what you can do on your own. You don't have to believe me. Go do your due diligence and read for yourself. In other news, so Kellyanne Conway, so Claudia brought the police to the door. Cops called on Trump spokeswoman Kellyanne Conway after her troubled daughter, 16 years old. She ain't troubled. The little girl know her mama crazy, and she come forth every day and be like, yo, my mom's crazy. But after posting like, oh, shoot, you posted a topless picture of me and then deleted it, because she accused her mother of that, it is child pornography. You're going to jail today, Kellyanne. And remember, that's what she said to her mom. And so the police really did come to the house to take her to jail. And she apologized because when Kellyanne Conway was accused of posting a topless picture of her 16-year-old daughter, her daughter Claudia took to Twitter on Monday. Claudia apologized for making the accusations on Tuesday, insisting that her mother would never intentionally do that. And said that maybe she was hacked. Screenshots on social media purported to show Kellyanne's official page sharing the image on Twitter on her newly launched Fleeks platform. Claudia said in a TikTok on Monday, so Kellyanne, you're going to effing jail. The teenager claimed that her mother had taken a picture of the nude photo to use against her someday and accidentally posted it, or someone hacked her. And then she reversed the course on Tuesday, saying that she and Kellyanne were stepping away from social media to work on their relationship offline. I still want you to snitch on your mom, though. Like, yo, can we have a real conversation? I don't care about the picture being leaked. What I care about is, why do you have a picture in your phone? I don't have no picture of Asaria not having clothes on. I don't even care when she's walking around the house with a little boy short and a tube top. Like, I still don't have no pictures of Asaria not fully dressed. Why the hell you got a picture of your daughter in your phone without a top? That's the question. I don't care if you posted it on Twitter. I don't care if you got hacked and somebody else posted it on Twitter. Why the hell you got a naked picture of your daughter? That's the real question. Like, that's the question not being asked. That's the question I want answered. Why the hell you got a picture of your daughter naked? Period. Let me see some of these comments. Today is the perfect day for you to holla at your stock guy. We could do that if that's what you want to do. Ain't got no problem doing that. Elise says she's working on this now, so before the end of the show, we'll be able to have something. What you want to know? What you want to talk to Palmieri about? We about to call him real quick.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Garazin? How you doing?
Good. Very good. What's going on?
Nothing. So today is the perfect day for you to holla at your stock guy. What's going on that they want me to holla at you?
Who?
You the stock guy.
You're so funny. Hold on 1 second, because I'm telling you, Taylor, you're killing me. You're calling me in the middle of trading day.
I'm sorry.
You don't understand. I'm up another 15 grand today. Like, this is ridiculous right now. I don't even know what to say. Hold on, Palantir. We're gonna squeeze to 50 plus. Boom. All right, what do you want to know?
Talk to him about AMC and these recent rushes.
Yeah, that's manipulation. That's what that is. It's manipulation.
That's it?
Yeah, it's manipulation. Tell them that it's a guy on Reddit that's manipulating the stock price, and you can take advantage of it, but it's not pure fundamentals, nothing of the sort. So this is straight manipulation, right? But
really
my
quick
job
question.
is to
So because it's manipulation and the stock is going to decrease, should I get?
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Okay, fine.
You don't know it's going to decrease. Like, so I'm saying it's manipulation, right? But that doesn't mean it's going to go down. You don't know it's going to decrease.
Okay, you're right. I don't know nothing.
No, it's not that you don't know anything. It's that I'll give you an example, right? The AMC. I bought 1,000 shares of AMC for myself and some clients.
Mm-hmm.
And the shit went to 20, so I sold half of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're talking about 1,000 shares. It's $2,000. I sold half, right? So I locked in like 10 grand in profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the point is now I only laid out $2,000. If the rest of it goes to zero, I don't give a shit. I've locked in $8,000 in profit.
Yo, you don't want to just hold this little $2,000 I have real quick?
I can't manage yours or all my money. I can't. You'd have to become a client, and in order to do that, I need 25 grand.
Damn it! Okay, wait for me.
I'm here. I've been doing this for 14 years. I ain't going nowhere. Some periods are better than others, but yeah. Anyway,
Go do what you have to do. Go do what you.
Right.
Thank you, Paul Mary. Hey, yo, who want to put in with me? Let me get 4 more people that got 5Gs. Who want to put in with? Y'all think I'm playing? I'm so damn serious. Who want to put this money with Paul Mary? He over here making $8,000 a day. Y'all, let's get this money. Collective economics. That's Kunji Kangalia. What is
Kuji Jaku or
Kuji Kanja? Oh Lord, Kanja. No, it's not.
I think
Kwanzaa principles. Yo, who want to do this Kwanzaa principle with me real quick? Changalia. That's what it is. Kuzi Changalia. Yo, Kwanzaa principles. I got 5 on it. I got 4 to you. Yo, let's do this for real. I'm so serious. He just made $8,000 off manipulation. That's beautiful. In a day. I got 5 on it. Who else got 5? I need 4 other people who got 5. Let's go and do this thing with Paul Mary real quick. Kuji Changalia. Thank you, Shauna. I love me some you. Thank you. Okay, so Kellyanne Conway's done. The World Health Organization warns pregnant women should not get the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine because it has not been proven safe, but U.S. doctors say it's up to the patients. I want to read that again because I want you to understand what the hell y'all injecting in yourself. The World Health Organization warns pregnant women should not get Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine because it hasn't been proven safe. But United States of America says it's up to the patients. The World Health Organization has recommended that pregnant women not receive the Moderna coronavirus vaccine due to the lack of safety data. The group added that mothers-to-be should only be immunized if they are at risk of high exposure, such as being at the front line as a healthcare worker. This recommendation will affect more than 3 million American women. Expectant mothers have not been included in the clinical trials, and researchers are waiting to see if any women in studies became pregnant as early indicators. Researchers are not including pregnant women in the COVID-19 trials until after the first quarter of 2021. Gynecologists have opposed pregnant women being excluded from the vaccine recommendations due to the high risk of severe illness from COVID-19. Also children young people, their brain, and not even that. Do you know, Julia, look it up. If I want to get a patent pending on, let's just say, a vitamin, find out how long I need to trial a vitamin, not even a vaccine, a vitamin with the FDA prior to paying $1 billion for the patent. Because you have to pay $1 billion in order for you to get cleared by the FDA. And then if you got some type of like holistic or non-genetically modified, or that's all extra money too.
Before having to buy it?
Kisa?
Like how long do I need a trial of vitamin before I have to?
No, not before you can buy it, before the FDA will approve it.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't clear. President Biden plans to, that is so weird to say. President Biden. I think that's the first time I said that. President Biden plans to replace the entire federal fleet of 645,000 cars and trucks with American-made electric vehicles, but doesn't provide a timeline or a cost or a word on the best practices. So President Biden said the federal government's fleet of vehicles will be replaced with electric vehicles in a push to use clean energy. The fleet replacement is part of a campaign promise Biden made while running for president that would provide jobs to American auto workers. As of 2019, the federal government has more than 645,000 vehicles in its fleet, so it's likely going to take years for full replacement to happen. One report said a total replacement could cost $20 billion. 225,000 post office vehicles that travel 4.5 billion miles in 2019 are the first up. And there is a photo to what?
So like vitamins, they're considered like dietary supplements, and the FDA doesn't like technically approve them.
FDA not approved for dietary supplements?
Yeah. They only approve pharmaceutical drug products.
Learn something new. Okay, so any pharmaceutical. So how long do I have to test a drug for the FDA to approve? And that's right, because none of the vitamins say FDA approved. That's a real thing. Yo, I could come out with a vitamin tomorrow, B. I'm gonna come out with a vitamin. Tailor-made vitamins. Y'all gonna buy it? Let me see who's gonna buy it. Shauna says, so they're testing women before they get vaccinated. They warn pregnant women not to use certain cleaning products as well. Pregnant women are a whole nother set of testing that they have to do. I didn't know that there's certain cleaning. Did I know that? Certain.
Okay, found it.
You found it?
So,
put it on your lip.
Priority review means that FDA aims to take action on an application within 6 months, compared to, so I guess 10 months is the standard review. But for priority review, it's within 6 months.
6 months for review, but the testing though, like actual testing. How long do I need to do research and testing? Because I remember the last time that I read it, it was like 5 years that it took for like trials and testing to like see long-term side effects. That's my point. As far as vaccines are concerned, my thing is like long-term side effects. We don't have any clue about COVID-19 long-term side effects because it took them 6 months to test it. So I'll let Julian do his 1-2 thing. I like having an intern. Shout out to all the interns who do real work and have their voice on the radio and not be getting coffee. You want to get coffee? I don't drink coffee, but no. Damn, Jules. I thought you were going to be a team player. So President Biden wants to give $4 billion in aid to Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala to reduce migration. Mexico's president is snitching. Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador said that Joe Biden has told him that the U.S. would send $4 billion to help development in Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Lopez Obrador said that the two discussed immigration and the need to address the root causes of why people migrate. Mexico has stopped recent attempts by caravans of Central American migrants to cross into Mexico. Earlier this month, one from the Honduras was broken up after just making it 30 miles into Guatemala. More aid for Central America is part of Biden's immigration reform strategy. And if we're going to have an honest conversation, you know what? This is a rabbit hole that I am going to have to go down because I want to give you the whole entire story. And so tomorrow I'm going to come back with so as far as the Panama Canal and the Central American country that we invaded in order to, during the 70s and 80s, in order to do the whole drug nonsense that we engaged in. We had a lot of leaders assassinated and like let the country go to shit. Like we did that. So the countries were absolutely beautiful and gorgeous and were developed, and nobody wanted to come to America because their countries were amazing. And then we engaged a part of the drug trade, and we used these countries and we used their leaders, and then we assassinated their leaders, and then we let the country go to shit. And so we created this problem. And so, yes, it is absolutely our responsibility to help fix the problem. Not all Central American or South American countries did we engage in nonsensical nonsense, but like we have, and we did. And so South America drug trade, and tomorrow is Thursday, and so I'll make sure I get that done today. But I do, when you're right, you're right. I'm not going to argue with you when you're right, and so I think this is a really great idea. But I want to know like how much of these resources are going to be stripped away from America in order to give to other countries, and we're still going to see influxes of migrants. And so I want to have this conversation further, but I want to be mindful for President Biden's sake that he has key players at the table, not just Taylor Andre guesstimating it, but actually like people who have actually migrated. What are they migrating from? What is it that they are migrating to, and how can we help keep them home? What were you going to say, Jules?
So I found this infographic.
Mhm.
So it looks like before it can get approved, or like when they submit, like when they do testing for submitting the application, it looks like they have to use up to 1,000 patients
Mhm.
to see like if it's like effective or not. So like they'll in the first there's like 3 phases. So the phase 1 would be 20 to 80, and they would test out like side effects and stuff
Mhm.
to see if there's any side effects. Then it goes to the hundreds, which sees like
Yo, imagine me like, you want to be the first one to take this shot, the first 50. Let's see if there's any side effects. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let's see if you die.
So yeah, and then phase 2 would be in the hundreds.
Mhm.
So that's when they get all the like the data and stuff to see how the drug, or like whether or not it works
Mhm.
for like whatever they're trying to like cure. And then
Mhm.
the thousands would be that was when they gather more information about safety and effectiveness.
Mhm.
And so they will study different like populations and different like they'll like offer different doses. So
Mm.
then I think that's in like the application. So the FDA would review the application and then
Approve or deny
approve
you from
it.
there.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a timeline, but you have to do 1,000 people.
I guess like it's up to 1,000 people to see if it's like if it works for like everyone.
That's interesting. That's interesting. We're going to pay these bills when we come back. It's the top of the hour. We're going to talk about these questions you're supposed to ask in a relationship before you jump into a relationship. But we have so many news that I wanted to report on and not talk too much. I'm going to just shut the hell up and read instead of adding commentary. I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. Shout out to the intern. Shout out to Jules in the building. Spark FM, Taylor Andre, TAYLA, ANDRE, everything Taylor Andre. We're going to pay these bills, and when we come back, more me.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
Radio. New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
Things may seem a little bit different now, but your health remains a priority. With the Massachusetts Health Connector, you can stay happy and healthy. Whether you're employed or have recently lost your job, you have options to stay insured. Visit mahealthconnector.org to compare health insurance plans and choose the one that's right for you and your family. Open enrollment ends on January 23rd. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL. That's 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
Paid family and medical leave is here. And if you're an employee in Massachusetts, you probably have questions. How does PFML work? When can I start using my benefits? How do I apply? Is PFML really for me? There is one place to find your answer. mass.gov/PFML. It's time to get to know paid family and medical leave. A message from the Massachusetts Department of Family and Medical Leave.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Hey, I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. And so, drug approvals from invention to market, a 12-year trip. And so in the United States, it takes an average of 12 years for an experimental drug. Okay, so I can say when I am wrong, and I was wrong. So experimental drugs are completely different from like regular drugs, I assume, based on only 5 in 5,000 drugs that enter preclinical testing progress into human testing. One of these 5 drugs that are tested in people is approved. So 1 in every 5,000 drugs is tested. The chance for a new drug to actually make it to market, thus, is 1 in 5,000. The process of drug approval is controlled in most countries by a governmental regulatory agency. In the USA, that's the FDA. The FDA requires the following sequence of events before approving, and that's where Julian went ahead and read already. The drug must also be evaluated for safety. These tests typically take an average of 3.5 years. And even though you can have a review form in 10 months and an expedited review in
6 months,
it typically takes 3.5 years. And so with that being said, if the FDA begins testing the drug in people, the IND becomes effective if the FDA does not disapprove within 30 days. The investigational new drug application is what the IND stands for, and the pharmaceutical company then files an IND with the FDA and able to study in humans. And so I learned something new, and you know what, the book that I was reading was about like psychedelics. And so I can see how that could be experimental and why it would take 5 years. And so I recant all of my statements about it being a max of 5 years or a minimum of 5 years, where it typically is a 3.5 year process. And the FDA typically reviews it for 6 to 10 months, depending on if you're on the fast track or if you're trying to do it normally. And I can't imagine how much that even freaking costs for the fast track version. So really quickly, I want to just bust through these news really quickly because everything happened so quickly that there's going to be 30 more articles for me to read tomorrow. So Twitter launches a fact-checking program called Birdwatch, where any member can flag a tweet that they think is misleading or inaccurate. So the pilot program, unveiled on Monday, called Birdwatch, adopts a Wikipedia-like community-driven approach to fact-checking. It also allows users to call birdwatches to identify tweets that they think contain inaccuracies or false information and write notes to provide context. No account or tweet is exempt from annotation, meaning users will be able to add context to tweets posted by news outlets and elected officials. I really like that, actually. Critics of the new feature have been quick to point out the risk, as such system could be abused to target legitimate commentary from a minority view. Twitter said that it wants to focus on making Birdwatch resistant to manipulation attempts to ensure it is dominated by a simple majority-based bias. Twitter did not specify whether users could face any disciplinary measures if their posts are frequently annotated. Is this shit breaking? I'm sorry. I want to salvage it before it breaks and then I can't use it anymore. Twitter did not specify whether users would face any disciplinary measures or if often annotated tweets are in bad faith. And so in other news, really quickly, they're talking about it's over. The Republican senators are blasting Trump's second impeachment as dead on arrival after 45 of them effectively signal the ex-president will be acquitted by voting the trial unconstitutional. The reason why everybody feels democratically, everyone feels like this is so important is because it allows him to run again for president at a later date. And we don't need that freaking headache. But it is said that Democrats had appeared to incite violence when one of Bernie Sanders' supporters shot Steve Scalise and said Maxine Waters and Cory Booker urged people to get up in the face of Republicans. And so it's like back and forth. You said this and you said that and you did this and you did that. And so it's ridiculous. It's like a grown adults arguing and bickering like children, and I'm tired of it. More than 100 million people worldwide have died of COVID-19 over the last period. Over 2.1 million have died since the first case was reported. So more than 100 million people have died worldwide and have had COVID, and over 2.1 million have died since the first case was reported 391 days ago. And so that is a lot of freaking deaths. Actually, that's this is really trying to weed out the survival of the fittest type of situations.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Have you ever heard of the Gaia hypothesis? So it's it's this theory that the Earth is the way the Earth works is kind of like a human body.
Mm-hmm.
So things like huge hurt. So whenever we're doing harm to the environment. So right now it's obviously we are climate change and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the Earth's reaction to it is viruses and hurricanes and all these dangerous storms to basically get out
tornadoes, earthquakes. And so it is the Earth is a human in the sense of her reaction to our we're parasites, really.
Yeah, we're a virus, but I don't know if earthquakes have to do with it because earthquakes are technically natural of the Earth.
Okay.
So I think it's more so
storms,
extreme storms. So really huge hurricanes, really tornadoes, and all that.
I don't know. Earthquakes just seem really extreme. Them just is crazy. It is scary. You don't know where to, like, Earth about to open up and swallow you. And then it's just like, I'm falling for how long? Like, for how long am I falling? Do I die at any point in time, or do I just wait 2 hours to fall into the Earth? That is like one of the scariest ways for me to, like, as a kid, I was like, what if an earthquake happens? Like, how do I die?
Well, it wouldn't happen here because we're not on a fault line.
But we recently had the effects of an earthquake that happened because New Bedford felt the tremble, and even some people in what's this called, Randolph felt the tremble. But it's weird that I really want to kind of be in like the outskirts of an earthquake because I just want to feel like, what does it feel like for the earth to move?
Like when I was in LA, like a lot of my, like, apparently there was an earthquake while I was there, but it was like a very small one, and I was asleep, so I didn't feel it.
Yeah, you a tourist. We sleep like we dead.
I was asleep, so I didn't feel it. And so, like, for like my friends that do experience like earthquakes, they said like it's not really, like, they say it's not, well, they say it's not bad because they're used to it, but like it's kind of like you, like, I don't know how, it's kind of like vibrations. Does that make sense?
I know, that's why I want to experience it, but from a safe distance. Yo, so how old are you, Jules? 19 years old. 1 in 5 Americans have an STD. They call them STIs now, sexually transmitted infections, and not sexually transmitted diseases anymore. And so, and half of the infected are people under the age of 24. So just be mindful when you engage in sexual activities, because 1 in 5 of your partners has an STI. New figures from the CDC estimate that on any given day in the United States, there are 67.6 million sexually transmitted infected persons. I don't want to kiss nobody. Keep your tongue in your mouth, boo. Yo, I noticed white girl, when, like, pre-COVID, whenever she would go to the club, like, she would find people to kiss. And I was like, how many times have you had mono? Like, that
was a lot of people in high school.
Like, how you just kiss people like that?
I went to like an all-white high school. Like, this one girl got mono from a party.
Yo, I remember, so I went to an all-white school. I was like one of 5 black kids, and everybody used to have mono, and they would be out of school for 2 weeks. And I was like, Mom, I want mono. Like, she was like, then go kiss one of them kids. And I was just like, that's how you get it from kissing folks? I was like, nah, never mind. Everybody was like, in high school, everybody is like, you don't think like a grown-up when you're a kid. So everybody's over here sharing milks. Thank God I ain't never drank milk. They're over here sharing straws and drinking from each other. When my mother told me that's how you get mono, couldn't nobody get nothing. Can I have a grape? Nope. I don't want mono. But 1 in 5 people have a sexually transmitted disease, and half of them are under the age of 24. There are also 26.2 million newly acquired STIs, with the most common being chlamydia, trichomonas, genital herpes, and HPV. Nearly half of 45.4 of newly acquired infections are among people between the ages of 18 and 24. The newly infected will likely cost the U.S. healthcare system an estimated of $16 billion in lifetime medical cost. Damn. That's crazy. Are y'all learning anything today? If you're learning anything, please like, please share, please subscribe with your friends. What's going on, VOG? How you doing? Taylor, face reading is the whole story. I don't understand. Your expressions got me like, what's going on? Earthquakes are the worst of any disasters. I felt them. They're very discomforting. I just want to feel it from like a distance, though, like from a safe distance. I don't know if that's even possible, but widespread internet outage hit millions across the Northeast due to an unspecified Verizon network issue. Users across the Northeast of the United States were hit with an internet outage on Tuesday. The outage spread from D.C. all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts. It knocked out cloud providers as well as Google, Slack, and Facebook. The problem started around 11 a.m. and lingered into the afternoon. And we didn't, hold on. When was this? Yesterday? We had internet problems. Oh, that makes sense. Was it yesterday we got kicked out? No, it was Monday that we got kicked out. So we ain't had no problems yesterday though. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really quickly. So there is a shocking moment when a Florida cop knocks a Black female student out after slamming her head into a high school concrete floor. So a student from Liberty High School in Oceana, Florida, was slammed into the floor. The video shows a police officer using his body weight to throw her onto the ground. A thud is heard as the little girl's head hits the concrete and she seems to stop moving. The sheriff officer said, "Our office is in the initial stage of the investigation." And I want to play the video for you though. Hold up. Ooh, damn. Hold on. Shit.
Didn't something like that happen?
Yo, this shit happens all the damn time. Like, these people ain't got no wherewithal about how to like treat kids. Like, these are babies at the end of the day. I be feeling bad when I hit Anari with a spatula. I hit my kids with spatulas. Julian, I ever beat you with a spatula? I ever threatened to beat you with a spatula? Yo, because I'm not hitting no grown people. He's big as hell. The hell I look like trying to pick up Anari and put him over my knee and whoop him. That don't even make sense. Just hit him with a spatula. That sounds so bad. It's not, I promise you. He laughs at me every time. Where this video at? I want to make it big so y'all can see. Pat. But look at her arm, look at her arm, look at her arm. And he's still putting it behind her back. She literally is not moving. And the other officer's not doing a damn thing. They gonna replay it? No, they're not gonna replay it. Listen, if that's my child, y'all already know. How much am I suing for? For every second my daughter was on the floor, not moving. That's how much I'm suing for. Every second she wasn't moving is $1 million y'all finna pay me. And that's how ruthless you need to be. That's how they gonna learn. You don't know, slap on the wrist, you get $100,000. That's nothing. When I sue, y'all gonna wish that y'all individuals need insurance because Taylor gonna take every last penny that we have. Absolutely. I'm gonna bankrupt the entire agency. The whole state is going to be bankrupt when I get through with you. And more parents need to be unforgiving. Absolutely unforgiving. There is no sympathy. You need an attorney that wants $1 billion. You need to be like Austin Powers. What do you say? I want $1 gazillion. That don't even exist. Well, I still want it, and you gonna give it to me because you shouldn't have threw my baby on the floor like that. So there's so many more stories. We're gonna leave that there, except for this one. China. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. So you thought those cotton swabs up your nose was bad? China is beginning to use anal swabs to test for COVID-19. Bend over and open your ass cheeks, please. Yo, who want to do that though? Who wanted? Beijing says it's more accurate than sticking it up your nose. I ain't never getting tested. I'll put a finger in the butt right now. So the city of Beijing is using COVID anal swabs on residents because of the fresh breakout. The Nucleic acid swab needs to be inserted about 1 inch inside of one's rectum. It is to be rotated several times before completing the 10-second procedure. Experts say that the butt method is more accurate than the throat and nose test. Hold on. Y'all gonna see the picture though. Y'all gonna see the picture. I'm so childish. I know. Whew. Bend over, bend over, bend over. Back shot, yeah. Back, yeah. Shit. Okay, I'm over it. Last one, I promise, last one. So Joe Biden calls Donald Trump's 1776 commission ignorance and lies as he signs orders on racial equity, saying George Floyd's death has opened the eyes of millions on fighting white supremacy. And so President Joe Biden signed a series of executive orders on Tuesday that deals with racial equity. He credited the death of George Floyd for inspiring action against systematic racism and white supremacy. One of the new orders instructs the Department of Justice to now renew contracts with not to renew contracts with private prisons. Biden signed an order condemning xenophobia against Asian Americans, which has been on the rise since the start of COVID-19 pandemic. Former President Donald Trump called COVID-19 the China virus. The new president criticized Trump's 1776 commission, saying that it was based on ignorance and lies. Trump wanted American students to get patriotic education and formed the 1776 commission in the response of the 1619 project. Pause. 1619 project. Can you
I already know what that is. That's the thing on the New York Times. I was about basically like the history of basically the history of like racial politics in America since the first landing of the slaves in 1619 in Virginia.
Thank you, Julian. And this MF wanted American students to get patriotic education and formed the 1776 commission in response to the 1619. Sir, do you not know that we already have the 1776 commission in every school across America already? It was a New York Times article versus what we learn systematically in, unless you take African American studies in college, all you learn is white history. You already have the 1776 commission. That was ignorant. Okay, I'm done. One more thing I just wanted to remind you. All around you, the whole entire world, for the whole rest of your life. And so what are the questions couples should ask before moving in together? What are the questions you should ask somebody before you guys start dating? What questions do you need to ask? Because all of these relationships that we are currently in or previously were in were trash. And that's why they ended. And so what are the questions that we should be asking? Jules? What questions? I wish you guys were going to see this face. So I posted this on social media to get an idea of what people think are important questions. And I am open to your interpretations. Please put it in the chat box. What questions do you think we should be asking people before we actually start dating? Let's go. What questions would you ask somebody, Julian, that you wanted to start dating?
What's your family like? Because that, like, I feel like that's a kind of like a universal question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what comes to mind? Like, I was watching Half and Half on Netflix, and there's this one episode where Mona, like who's black, was dating a white guy, and
that's the curly hair one, right?
Yeah, and his parents were racist. Like his parents didn't like him dating black girls. And he didn't clarify that. So like she was like caught up, like I think, but at first she was like ignorant to it, but like when other people started noticing it, she was like, are they like okay?
And she was like eclectic and really weird too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I remember that show. What's your family like? So is the question like, is your family racist if you're dating outside of your race, like specifically?
Well, I think it's that too. I think it just gives like a lot of clues, and it also gives like a lot of clues to who you are.
And not just
Yeah.
that, for me, it's like, I have a huge family. My family is freaking larger than life. And so are you okay with maybe a cousin sleeping on the couch once in a while? Like we might have some extra family members living with us for a couple days, maybe a month. Like, you
Or
know,
even like if you bring like for me, because I have a huge family too. Like I have a huge family on both of my sides. They're very like
oh yeah, because
out
your
there.
dad's Cape Verdean, so you got
And-
mad
yeah,
cousins.
and he's and we have like a lot of family in the South on his dad's side. That
Your dad's half Cape Verdean?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that. So he's Black and Cape Verdean?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to your daddy. And your mom's Haitian. Haitians have
all the way.
everybody. You have family in Miami, Canada, New York, and some in Florida. I mean, California, apparently. I just learned that.
My mom's. Well, I have family. Like I have one cousin.
In Cali?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's who you went to go visit when you went to school, right?
Yeah, but that's
Mhm.
on my dad's side. That's not my mom's side. But that's
Oh.
besides the point. But like for me, like I have a really huge family too. So like, and they're very like out. Both of them are very outgoing. So like, you have to be like comfortable with being like invaded with like a whole bunch of questions.
How's that feel when and you are so like antisocial? So that's weird.
That
That
would give
for
me
you.
so much anxiety.
So what are some of the questions? Let me look at some of these comments here. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Sounds like a bad porno. You talking about the COVID-19 swab up the booty? Sound like a bad porno. Lord have mercy, dude. I was popping up at the cops' child school telling yep. He said that he would be popping up at the cops' kids' school and terrorizing the cops' kids every damn day if that ever happened to a child. And so the questions that you would ask somebody before dating them. My cousin Chanel said family, and her and I are on the same page because family is super important to me. And I know family is super important to her. Like, what is your family like? Like, do you have a close relationship with your family? Are you not close with your family? Do you guys have like big parties? You know, what does your family look like? For me, like, that's what it is for me. Not even like the aesthetics of what does your family look like, but what does your home life balance look like? Are we going to family outings like every weekend, or do you skip family outings? We ain't finna skip no family outings. I want to go and eat all the peach cobbler. I want it all. So we going. I love my elders. I'm in love with my elders, and I spend an immense time with them. And so even like when we go to the Cape to go visit my mom, my auntie is in Duxbury, and I go often. I don't care how late it is. Like if we leave my mom's house super late, we're still going to Auntie Mary's house. Like I don't care. It's late. I want to go home. Y'all want to go home. We're going to stop and see these elders real quick. I'm trying to find a picture so I can show y'all what the hell Baby Rain's baby shower look like. Because Baby Rain's baby shower looked like a whole... All right, so this photo, let me make sure y'all can see it. This is probably 1/3 of Anari and Asaria's... I don't know why it's not letting y'all see. Okay, y'all can see the damn heads. Y'all can't see faces, but y'all can see the heads. So this is probably 1/3 of Anari and Asaria's Boston Haitian family. Like, this is not even all of them. And there's probably about 100 people in this picture, maybe even more. And that's not even a slight intro into what their Havison side looks like. And then my side looked like a damn concert. Like every time we look like a concert. And so we have like the immediate families that have like 30 people in them. And then outside of the immediate families, we have like the big family. And there's so many of us. Oh, well, I can't find it. Another question that you should ask before dating is, do you want kids and do you want to get married? And so let me tell you, I was in a relationship and he told me like marriage is off the table. I'm not thinking about marriage. I don't want marriage. Marriage isn't what I need or desire ever in my life. And my stupid ass stayed in the damn relationship swearing for God that I could change his mind. Why? Why did I do such things? Please tell me. Because I don't know why. Do you know why? Do you know why people stay in relationships thinking they could change folks? Here we go. This was Baby Rain's baby shower. I don't know if y'all can see all them damn people, but there's people in the back, in the back, in the back. There's people behind the camera. Good rising. How are you, Evans? That's a pretty decent baby shower. That's
typical for my family.
Exactly. That's like, so we're having a get together this weekend. Like 250 people show up. That's why we can't, this whole Corona situation, we couldn't even get together because a get together would have exceeded state, federal, everybody's limits for like a get together. Family is very important. Do you want children? How many times have you been in a relationship and you want kids and they don't want kids? How many, like, why get into a relationship if you know damn well neither one, like only one of you want kids? If she don't want kids, what the hell you think you're going to change her mind for? You can't. Hi, Daddy. Daddy, I had a shovel today and I'm sick of getting gas. Mind you, the gas station I go to is full service. But I don't like getting gas, Daddy. I don't like cleaning off my car. I want my daddy back. Can you please tell my stepmother that I want my daddy back? The one thing that I meant, so I have this dress that needs to be ironed. I have attempted to iron this damn dress at least 3 times. And every time I give up. Daddy, I really miss you. And can I please... Can I please have my daddy back? I don't like this adulting life. I'm tired of it. I shouldn't have to do this anymore. I had a dream, Father. I'm talking to my daddy. The rest of y'all are just here, right? So, Daddy, I had this dream that I was in a changing room and I was like really comfortable. You know how I am. Like I was out here naked in the changing room, talking trash, running my mouth. And this guy walked in and he was everything. He was everything. And I think it was Havison that made a comment about Run, she's looking for her daddy. And I got embarrassed and I felt like I had to cover myself and I felt snitched on. And so it makes me wonder, am I not looking for a husband, but looking for a daddy? Do I have daddy issues? I'm going to let that one sit. Just think about it. I can be transparent. This is my therapy. Y'all are just here with me. And so other questions, Daddy, what are questions that you should ask? We actually had this conversation with my stepmom before, Mama Val. I don't know if she's at work right now, but she always answers her phone when I call her. I want to know what kind of questions we should ask somebody that we think we want to be in a relationship with. So, Daddy, I'm calling your wife so I can ask her if I can have my daddy back.
Hello.
Hi, Mama Val.
Hey, how you doing, babe?
I'm good. Are you busy?
Kind of, sort of. What's up, though?
Okay, so 2 questions. Well, maybe 3 questions. So first of all,
No problem.
we're live. Second of all, can I have my
Okay.
daddy back?
You sharing, sweetheart. I love you dearly, but we got to share that one.
I miss him. I have clothes that need to be ironed. I had a shovel today. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, who's going to answer me? Who's going to bring my breakfast in the morning? Who's going to open the car door for me, put my gas in?
And that's what I want.
He's my boo. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Okay, and so secondarily, so I just told my daddy that I had a dream, and in my dream, I was in a dressing room, and I was like being me, who I am, like I was naked in the dressing room, and this dude.
We just had this conversation about my naked daughter. Yes, go ahead.
I am who I am, Ma. What you want me to do?
I love you for it.
Thank you. So I'm in the dressing room and I'm naked and I'm talking and da-da-da-da-da. And this dude walks in and he is life. Like, he is everything. He's so beautiful. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And then Anari and Asaria's dad was like, yo, run. She's looking for a daddy. And I felt embarrassed. And I'm wondering, like, do I not want a husband? I just want a father? Is that like...
No, I think you're looking for a husband, but he has to have the qualities that your father has, because that's what you saw, that's what you know, that's what you like.
Amen. Thank you for making me feel normal. So the question I really called for is, what kind of questions do we need to ask for the people we potentially want to date?
Honestly, I have learned to not ask questions and don't allow them to ask you a lot of questions. Because if they ask you, what do you like, what you don't like, they're going to try to be that type of person to reel you in. Just go with the flow, but know in your mind what you want, what you will accept, what you will not accept.
So no questions, Ma?
Well, you want to know if he got a job, you have his own place. You want to know those questions, but the questions that you don't want to be deceived. Because I found in my dating, when I was dating, the more information I gave, the more they tried to be that person. But once I was in that relationship, they became a whole different person. But believe me, B, your dad has been the exact same person from day one, 6 years ago, to today.
I know, that's my daddy. I love him.
So I have learned the more you give them, if they're a deceitful person, but ask the questions about how many baby mamas you got, how many kids you got a job, how long you been working. Those things you do need to know.
Is finances a really important part of it? Like, if he is a worker but doesn't make that much money, like, is that something that you should should you discard a man if you're making a certain amount of money and you expect a certain lifestyle?
Me personally, I don't think so. If he's a hard worker and doing the best he can do and be, and he's good to you and he has all the other qualities, I couldn't just dismiss him for that. But again, you got to know what you're looking for. If you don't, if at $15 an hour is just not going to cut it for you, it's just not going to cut it for you. And just be real with yourself. It is what it is. It's not that you've been a gold digger or whatever. You know what you want. If your lifestyle is higher than that and you want him to be higher, but think about it. You may be letting go of a good man.
Lord have mercy. Any other tips, tricks for people out here dating that we should be mindful of and paying attention to?
No, all I can say is just be true to yourself. Don't sell yourself short on he has potential or she has potential. That's for the birds. I'm sorry. Then they're done that.
So potential ain't finna cut it.
No, no, not for me. It's just not. By now, at the age where you're at and I'm at, you got to be someplace. Potential's not going to cut it. You got to know where you want to be and where you're going.
So if you in your 20s, potential's okay.
Yeah, because how many people are really dead set on that person for life at that age?
Ma, I love you.
I love you too, boo.
And why you were talking about your naked daughter? What'd I do?
We were watching something or discussing something, and I was like, that's Taylor. I wish I could be as comfortable as she is in her body, because that girl does not like. Oh, Noah saw Alex, and he was like, "Look at them big old things like that." And I was like, "Yeah," because Noah's not used to that. Taylor kids is used to that. That seeing the naked body is nothing to her kids.
Pretty much. I don't think Anari will ever go to a strip club because he's like, it's a body. I don't think Anari will ever go to the strip club. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but he's seen enough ass and titties to last him a lifetime.
Yeah, he's like, I'm over there. So what?
Okay.
Been there, done that.
Thank you, Ma. I love you.
Love you too. Enjoy your day.
You as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. That is my daddy's wife. That is my stepmama. That is Mama Val. I love me some her. She gonna keep it real 110% times of the day. I really do appreciate, the candidness and the honesty of not just her, but daddy, you as well. And other people, as far as questions are concerned. So maybe I've been messing up. I've been asking too many questions and giving out too many tricks on how you could trick Taylor. I've been telling y'all all the tips on how to trick me. So I'm not doing that no more. All you gotta do is watch the show. That's it. I don't even have to say anything. Just watch the show. And apparently I can be tricked. I rebuke that. So Sonia said religion, religious beliefs, relation, marital status, parental status, personal goals, sexuality, and lastly, employment status. Those would be her questions. And so I'd like to go down this list. So if you're asking somebody you're potentially interested in dating, the question would be what are your religious beliefs, or what is your religion, or what do you believe in? What do you practice? And I think I would scare somebody away if I told y'all what I'm like, so I light candles on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I pray to my ancestors. I have open conversations with those that have passed on a regular basis. And so my auntie recently passed. You guys know that I was gone from the show for about 2 weeks. I was in the South with my grandmother. I openly have conversations with my auntie regularly. So me and T talk about everything. And so when I went to Alabama, I thought it was just me, and I'm talking to my auntie, and my sister walks in. She's like, who you talking to? I was like, Auntie Shauna. She was like, oh, for real, what's she talking about? Because I was just talking to her the other day. I was like, Daddy, your kids is crazy. But she talked back, and you ain't finna tell me otherwise, period. Hey, yo, use this clip right here to claim insanity in the future. Y'all laughing. I'm so serious. Where Elise at? Elise, you heard me? So in all honesty though, right? Because I do believe that my ancestors are around me at all times of the day. As far as religion is concerned, I do believe Jesus is real, was real. He came to show us the way in the way in which we can do things. And so he said, all these things I do, you can do these things. And so I personally think that Jesus came here to show y'all the way and how y'all could do things. And if you truly believe, we finna walk on this water real quick. But I think that our limited beliefs are I'm remembering a story that I read 5 years ago about the pastor who said he could walk on water and he drowned because he couldn't swim.
That's not funny.
Yo, but the picture they used for the article was of a hand. I was like, Y'all let the man drown.
Wait, so they just watched him drown?
You didn't watch him drown. His whole parishionership watched him drown. Nobody saved him.
I'm
Oh
so
god. Yo, Julian, find that article, please. And you like the craziest thing is the fact that they had the man's hand like going like this out of the water. I don't know if it was really his hand, but he drowned. He died after he said he was gonna walk on water, and everybody just let him drown. And that was my question: is like none of y'all thought to save him. None of y'all thought to like throw him a rope.
Where was it?
It was, I believe, it was in Africa.
Oh, it was in Africa.
I believe it was in Africa. I could be wrong.
Because I got this one that was in Oregon. Okay, here we go. The picture's not there.
Lord have mercy. Okay, so as far as religious beliefs, that's important.
Oh, wait.
Yo, I don't know if this is the real picture, but how y'all just let that man drown? Look at Pastor believes he can walk on water, then drowns. Y'all let that man drown. Oh shoot. I really like your broadcast and shows. You are inspiration and a role model. Hugs, Unique. Hugs. Thank you. Please share, like, and subscribe. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you guys at the beginning of the show. So yesterday, I told you that I had a really late day.
I don't even think that's his picture because they used the same picture for a different article.
That's why I said I don't think it was that, who's snapping a picture of the pastor drowning though? Like who doing that? But I was sitting on the side of the road and these trucks kept passing. Mind you, it was like in the middle of snow. They had no blade, no sand, no salt. Though the truck was filled with sand, the truck was filled with salt, and they had a blade. They weren't putting the blade down. They weren't salting and they weren't sanding. And I was just like, yo, they got like one more time. And so they came, no blade, no salt, no sand. One more time, no blade, no salt, no sand. The fourth time I saw a truck pass by with no blade, no sand, no salt, I called 311 and I was like, listen, I'm having a problem. This street is not like the city works, the Boston Public Works. And I believe, God bless you, God keep you. And I believe it was I think it was Feeney Brothers. So it was two Feeney Brothers trucks and two different public work trucks. And I was like, this is absolutely insane. So the GPS is showing them doing this thing, but they weren't really doing the thing that they were getting paid to do. And so I called 311 and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. No salt, no sand, no blade, but yet they drove around 4 separate times. She said, ma'am, is that all? And I was like, yes, thank you. And she was like, Taylor, I just want to let you know. I said, oh, I cried last night. Like, I need you to know that you made me cry last night. She was like, I really do appreciate your show. I appreciate what you're doing out here. We see you. I'm only able to catch like a few minutes of your clips, but I just want to let you know that I am engaged and I do see you. And that for me, that was really real. Like that really touched me. That really hurt me because it didn't hurt, but it had tears in my eyes. And I did cry because I was just like, some days when I come in here, I feel like, what is it for? But what is it all for? When you holding them down, but it's just all for, like, I really sometimes feel like I really be in here talking to myself and nobody cares about the stories that I actually care about because this is not what mainstream media is discussing. These aren't the topics that are being talked about. When people are talking about what's going on in the news, they're talking about what mainstream media is pushing them to believe and to see and feel and think. And I'm just like, this is not the only reality that we have. And I feel like, but what is it all for? And for her to tap in last night and say, Taylor, like, I really do appreciate you and the work. And we see you, like, that really hit for me. And so thank you so much, everyone who watches, likes, subscribes, shares. I truly do appreciate you. As far as the questions you ask when you're in a relationship, we just got off the phone with my stepmother who said, you don't ask no questions, baby. You just watch and listen with your eyes. Because if you start asking questions and giving all of these tips and tricks, you're going to get tricked because they're going to turn into the person that you want them to be versus the person that they actually are. And you're not going to know, like, you're going to be in a relationship and wonder, like, how the hell did you just change into a different person? Because you kind of gave them the blueprint on how to temporarily make you happy and to get you for the loop, for the okie doke. And so Sonia said that religion, religious beliefs, spirituality, marital status. So typically my question is, if we're in public, is there anyone who's gonna be mad at seeing me holding your hand? That's typically my question, because you can't ask nobody if they got girlfriends. You can't ask nobody if they got wives. You can't ask nobody if they're in a relationship, because the answer could be dead ass no. And that's a real statement. That's a true statement. But if I ask you if we are out in public holding hands, who gonna be mad? Oh, that answer a little different, huh? That answer is totally different. If we kissing in public and somebody snap a picture and send it to somebody, is that somebody gonna be upset? When I started asking that question, that changed my life. And I actually had to start asking that question after I asked the dude if he was in a relationship, and he told me no. My dumb ass didn't even, I didn't even think to ask, are you married? Because I said, are you in a relationship? And he said no. But he was married with kids, love and marriage, Al Bundy style. And I'm like, but I asked you if you were in a relationship. He was like, yeah, we separated. Pause. Legally? No. I asked you if you were in a relationship. So I'm out here going on dates with a married man looking like the home wrecker because your ass can't be honest. Are you in a relationship? No. Why did your wife just pull up? We separated. That's not a real thing. Unless you guys are legally separated. You do have court documents. And so that's when I started asking that question. Like, is there anybody who's going to be mad if they see us in public? That's the new question. What Daddy just say? Ask them, don't start something that they won't always do from day one. Daddy, did you hear my stepmother talking about who gonna bring her breakfast in the morning? Who gonna open her door? Who gonna do all the... Daddy, can you please pray? Because I need my door opened. I need the damn sidewalk shoveled. I shouldn't have to shovel to get my car out the driveway. I shouldn't have to do that, Daddy. I need you to talk to Jesus. Where Nana at? I'm going to call Nana and have her talk to Jesus, because Jesus talked to the elders on a whole nother level. Parental status. How many baby mamas do you have? How many baby daddies do you have? How many children do you have? And I think this is an important question too, because there are a lot of people who were in relationships prior, and their former ex had children that they've adopted, and maybe not legally in the sense, but they've been in that child's life for so long that that's my kid. Like, yeah, that is absolutely my kid. I financially take care. And that the reason why that's important is because you have a better understanding of like, how many people how many people are you responsible for? Like, how many dollars are actually going to come out of your pocket that if we start to date and start to do these things, it's going to come out of my household? Because if we're one together, our household is one together, but you have this whole other family that you're taking care of, not just the one child that you had, but the 3 kids that your ex had. Sexuality. Do you like men and women? Like, are you just, strictly penis, or are you doing these other things as well? I think that's important. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years, mentally, financially, professionally? Who do you look up to? Who is someone who inspires you? And I think this is important. So I went on a date one time with this dude in Alabama, and he was like, he asked me like, what is your vision of grandeur for yourself. And I have always had a vision of grandeur for myself in the form of like, yo, this castle is a real thing. This castle is no dream. It's not like a pie in the sky. When I get this castle, y'all remember today, because Taylor Andre will have a tailor-made castle. Trust and mother believe. And so when I was just like, oh, you know, like a castle, a garden, I want to be able to go outside and pick my food. He was like, a castle? Like, what's the boy name who was on the Breakfast Club? And he was like,
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy. What did he say actually?
Drake. Because they compared him to Drake.
Drake? Yeah, he was like, a castle? A castle? And I was like, yeah. Yo, when I tell you the date ended right then and there, and the funny thing about it is right now, he's building gardens for people so people can have gardens and fresh fruits in their front and backyards. And so we still keep in contact, but he was like, Taylor, you said you were going to get a castle and I see you. Like, I'm sorry I doubted you. And so for me, that's important. That is always important. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Who do you look up to? What inspires you? Where's your wife or significant other? Auntie Jean, who is also a life coach, said dreams and goals for their life, relationship with their mother or sisters, or as far as a woman is concerned, with her father and brothers. Do you run from police when confronted? Listen, I need to know if I can commit crimes with you, B. Like, are we finna do this crime or what? No, I'm just joking. Real serious though. Joshua, what's going on? That's my cousin. Shout out to Josh. He said, favorite movie tells me everything I need to know. Yo, I want to go down there. I hate the timing for this because I want to know, like, how does your favorite movie tell you everything you need to know?
That makes sense.
How?
Because, like, so say if they say, like, a comedy, but it's, like, a really bad comedy, I just, like, it kind of, like, shows the, like, maturity. But, like, for someone, like, who's probably, like, a cinephile that, like, really, like, that's, like, really into film and, like, some more, like, serious films.
A cinephile? That's a real thing?
That's a real thing, yeah.
A cinephile. I think my daddy's a cinephile. Daddy, I just named you. I just called you a name, you cinephile. My daddy really is. Like, my daddy can point out, like, movie mistakes. Ask him about the Matrix movie mistakes. My daddy pointed out that in one scene, what's the guy named? The black dude, Morpheus? Yeah, Morpheus. In one scene, the pill is in his blue hand, and in the next scene, the red pill is in his left hand, and then in another scene, the red pill is in his right hand. And so if you really do like the left or right hand, it's like technically it's a movie mistake. So it's like you really just have to pick the pill. So shout out to my daddy because of him, I was able to like pick up on different movie mistakes in movies.
Well, I feel like if you like study film and like you know how like film production works, like it's pretty easy to like catch all that stuff. For me, like,
oh, because you took that? Yeah.
I took film in high school. And it was like when I learned like all the like basics and stuff, it was like really easy to catch like mistakes. Well, like mistakes. Like,
mistakes.
They're probably just like overlooked. Like they probably just didn't mean it.
Like the coffee cup in Game of Thrones type situation.
Yeah.
I was a movie mistake in The Equalizer. Real talk.
Yeah.
I was.
I think the sequel film down the street from my school, and we almost went.
Both of them were filmed here in Boston, though.
Yeah. But I think the second one in particular was
filmed by your school.
Yeah, I think down the street.
Where in South Boston? Is that where your school is?
Back Bay.
No, I never picked you up from school. Whoever you are, as long as you're not rude, I'll make space for you. As long as when we get together or come home, I get to hold all of that. Oh, that's sweet. Ask them what the last 3 books that they read were. And you were a movie mistake in a Denzel movie. Yes, I was, Daddy. And so with that being, so I want to know, really what I want to ask Joshua is, what does it say about me for my favorite movie to be The Fifth Element? That's what I want to know. For my movie is The Fifth Element is my favorite movie. And I want to know, what does that say about me? Tomorrow, I will read what Joshua says that The Fifth Element says about me as a person being my favorite movie. And I think that will be my favorite movie for a really long time because that movie came out in what, like 2000 maybe? And it's still my favorite movie. And I think it will be like that. That shit's cold. It's timeless to me. It's one of the best movies I ever seen. And it really is. You think it's a good movie, Daddy? I'm glad. You got to go to work and we got to get off air. So I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Jules, what do you want to say to the people then?
Oh,
you don't have nothing to add?
No, not really.
Do you know the tagline yet? Waking Up with Taylor Andre?
No.
Can you say it? Can you try?
If I had a script.
No, there is no script. You're the intern. Okay, next time. I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. If you know anybody looking to buy or sell real estate in the next 3 to 5 years, please give me a call at 617-459-0041. You see this? It was written by Taylor Andre. I wrote the book. It's the step-by-step guide for people preparing for first-time home ownership. If you know somebody who needs help with credit, if you know somebody who needs help with savings, budgeting, all that great stuff, you can get the book on my website, or you can just go ahead and go to Amazon and get it. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day. Spark FM online, or you can go to TAYLAANDRE.com.